back to the channel. Thank you again for joining us here at CCSC. In today's episode on our vanilla Venice build, we're going to have a quick and concise episode. Very first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and hit play, exit out of this screen. We're at 1x speed. We're going to go ahead and adjust our taxes because we've implemented high density residential, commercial, and office space, but they're only paying 9% tax. So we need to adjust that, make a little bit more money for our city. The next thing that we're going to do is de-zone this industry over here because we have a plan and we need to get rid of this polluting industry. We will be moving it to the island as discussed in past episodes, but for today's episode I just want to get that out of there. We will be moving all the industry over here with shipping ports and cargo terminals and all that. But today we just want to get rid of that area. By the end of the episode, after these drain, they're now 15% and 24%. We will be relocating those to the new area that we have designated for the landfill sites. But for right now, I want to go ahead and focus on Birch Hills, and I want to focus on this area over here. So this would be the Meridian Street. So this needs to be upgraded to a 4-lane street, and we can do that very simply. Now, unfortunately, as discussed in previous episodes, we do not have the DLC for industries. So all of our industry is just classic gameplay industry, and that means that we do not have industry streets. So we just have to go with the regular ones here, but that's fine. And we can connect that and then upgrade all of these. And you can see we are deleting a lot of businesses here, so this will make our industry fluctuate a little bit, but also you can see they can build right back into it. I'll go ahead and rezone these little sections here, and we should be fine. And we can leave that de-zoned. We don't need that, whatever that is. That can be destroyed. That can be gone, that can be gone. Yeah, there we go. We can actually de-zone this. I didn't realize this was the main road. There we go. Alright, so a little bit's fine. But nonetheless, also what we need to do is go ahead and make sure all of this area is in our zone. And we plan on moving this out here a little bit. But for right now, everything's covered. And as you can see, we do have a little bit of industry demand. So we need to go ahead and make sure everything's covered that we can. And I think so. And we will have a little bit of more industry demand because of all that unconnected there. Let's check our electric. Yeah, everything's connected, so we can go ahead and delete this line here. And we can go ahead and delete this line here. Perfect. Let's delete that and then reconnect it, just like this. There we go. Now everything's still connected. We've still got water. Everything's still moving throughout the city. The next thing that we want to do is go ahead and add our highway interchange. We can go ahead and let the town go ahead and continue, but we need to pause it while we do the highway interchange. So let's go ahead and hit pause. And I think we're going to delete something like this. And I want to put it kind of right in the middle of these two intersections. You don't want too many too close together. And this is kind of too close together, but it's a video game, so you got to work with what you got. I always like to orientate these where the bridge is on the other side of the highway, because the exit off the highway here, this is going to lead down to a roundabout. So the main road here would be the main road. This bridge here is going to come down over here to a roundabout to feed all these arterials. So let's go ahead and go and finish this out. Go to our straight tool. And when doing something like this, I like to just do straight, straight, and then if something isn't looking good, which I think we will have that problem because of the bin there, I come back and I delete those two segments and those two segments, and then I curve it. And we can't curve that. Yeah, that's not going to look good. Let's go ahead and do something like this, and something like that, and then something like this, and that. And then it looks a little bit better. It doesn't look so sharp. You can see right here, that's where the two nodes are that turn. You can tell that that's where they turn. So if we just delete those 4 sections, and I understand this is a waste of money, but it does make it look a little bit more natural and a little bit better. It's kind of the whole point of the game. So there we go. We have our intersection. And if we didn't have the money at the time, we can come down here and do the exact same thing with our curve tool. And come out and have a nice natural grade. There we go, and that looks much better. And there we are. So we've got our intersection, so we can go ahead and hit play. There's our 4 Cloverleaf Highway interchange. And after that, we're going to come down here to a roundabout. So we can go ahead and place the roundabout as well. A large roundabout, and I'm using this roundabout opposed to building a roundabout. I will probably change most of this roundabout, but I'm using this because this is a tutorial for, you know, how to start this game. So I'd rather you get used to, you know, what you have, the options. It is much better to build a roundabout because you get exactly what you want. But we're going to go ahead and go with this. Let's go to our straight tool and bring this road. This is going to be kind of a meridian as well. Don't know if you can hear the thunder there. And we'll have this come down something like this. Yeah, because that'll be straight with the bridge, straight with the highway. This is exactly what we want to do. Something like this. Let's go right about there, I think. Oh, right about there, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much straight with everything. Let's go over a little so we get a little more in line with the bridge. Yeah. There we go, and there is our roundabout. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Now we can go back to our highway tool and stretch these highways down just a little bit before leaning them in. And actually, let's go ahead and start leaning them now. Let's go to our curve tool. Really? Okay, there we go. Let's go to our curve tool and curve it just a little bit. Something like this. And we're going to try and match that exact same thing on this side. Yeah, something like that. And that might be a little bit too much. We need to first change direction. Well, I guess not first, because we might change this. Yeah, let's take these two off and then get it a little bit more natural. Go to our curve tool again. And actually, let's go to the straight tool from here, because we're already at a good angle. Come straight up like that. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and curve them in. And that should be able to curve right into that intersection, just like so. Now change that right there, and there we go. So the highway comes off, and it comes down into this little 3-lane here, and then you go into the roundabout. Yeah, alright, that works perfect. The next thing that we need is to change this, and I think we can downgrade this road to a 4-lane. And let's go ahead and do that, and then run this straight. How straight can this go? Pretty straight. We need to maybe make adjustments on this hill here. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just that hill. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to our landscaping tool real quick. In today's episode, we are not going to reach our next milestone. Unfortunately, we will have to break that habit today. Let's go ahead and adjust this, and then we can rebuild that road. We're not going to have enough time to get all these little things that I want to get done real quick and build a nice giant residential section. But we will get everything prepared so that we can reach the next milestone in the next episode. There we go. We have a highway exit. Now all of these people coming out of this train station over here or going to the train station do not have to bother with this entire thing. They were having to go all the way through here and all the way around. Now they can just get right off the highway straight into the train station. Coming and going to and from the city is way easier. Now, let's get back to this area over here. Let's go ahead and connect this up. And a little autosave. And we'll change this to a 4-lane. Now, what I was talking about building your own roundabouts is I don't use anything like this where it drives right into the roundabout. I like to have little off-ramps that come at an angle. That's why I like to build my own roundabouts. But this will suffice for right now. This will work, and you can follow along at home and do pretty much the exact same thing. Now for the next part of the episode, I want to go ahead and take advantage of a little bit of terrain that we have over here. So we have a residential area and commercial and people living, and then we have an industry area. And although this is farmland and it's not polluting, it still has a lot of noise pollution, and it still has a lot of things that you want to keep separate. And even just aesthetically, you would want to keep these separate. They wouldn't go together. So what we're going to do is we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to add a few cemeteries. We're going to add more than we need. But as you can see, we've got a little bit of a death problem here. And if you go to your info views, you can go to healthcare and death care. Capacity 6,000, buried 1,700. We don't need these right now, but we will eventually. And as you can see, there are a few out there that need to be picked up. So we're going to add some locations. So if we go to our cemeteries, you can see that we've got one way over here, and one way over here. That's it. 2 cemeteries. So we're going to add a few more kind of centrally located over here, and we're going to butt them up right against these houses here. Sorry if the neighbors don't like it. But they seem fine just by having some cemeteries. And we're going to do the same thing on this side and keep it kind of nice and uniform. And there we are. Now we've got 4 more cemeteries, and this kind of, it makes sense. This is kind of like Cemetery Hill. This is just where everyone gets buried. We've got a couple of the cemeteries, and that makes sense too, but this is a kind of a very high population area. Eventually I plan to split this neighborhood, because right now Belmont Hills is 3,400 population, where if you come over here to Elk Park, that is 3,000, and Aspen Heights is 2,000. So this is getting to be a lot bigger, and we plan on continuing this area all around this at. All of this is going to be filled in. It'll blend in nicely with these trees. We'll be able to make it, you know, look really good at the exit, the outer parts of the town. But all of that will be filled in eventually. So we need some water pipes over here. Didn't realize cemeteries required so much water. Fair enough. Learn something new every day. Alright, so this one doesn't need water? It's connected? Sure. Okay. Whatever. Let's go ahead and bump it up to 2 times speed. Maybe that's why. They just haven't realized they need water yet. Let's take a look real quick. We are at 14% and 23%. Not moving at all. Let's bump this up to 3 times speed. And let's go ahead and finish beautifying this area. So I want to separate these 2 areas. And actually, we are going to delete this road here. Let's go ahead. Yeah, we're going to delete this road here. And we're going to change this a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Now that we've done that 4-lane, I wish we would have done it earlier, but let's go ahead and just do this, and that might answer the problem that I want to fix. Let's go ahead and go to Curve Tool and see. Yeah, that looks much better. So this will be the entrance to the city, and as you can see, we've got a 4-lane road here as kind of just a cross-section road to keep traffic out. You don't want too many, because this is a main artery road, you don't want too many intersections, so then we've got another 4-lane road here, and the last one will be down here. So it'll have 3 main intersections off this main road, and that'll be it. That's what you need to get, you know, to exit the area. You need to use one of those main roads. So let's go ahead and do this and finish that out. And I suppose we might as well just go ahead and do that. So there we go. We've built up Belmont Hills a little bit. But this right down here, I don't want these roads intersecting because I don't want an extra intersection there, especially not so quickly after this intersection. We want to keep the highways clear. So we're going to go ahead and move this water tower here. And let's go ahead and relocate. But I want to kind of keep it still centered into the main entrance here. So we're not going to build anything else over here. So I think we're going to keep this water tower. Let's see. There's another one by the industry over here. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to move this water tower over here. Right there. So it'll still be something that you see whenever you enter the city, once you enter this little area. It's still a nice little homely reminder, you know. But yeah, there's a little water tower there. It's next to a lot bigger building than you would normally see in an area that has a water tower. We may move that later. You know what? How much money do we waste just moving that? We may move that later, but for right now, that's fine. We'll go ahead and keep that like it is. And let's delete that little segment there. All right, now let's go ahead and hit play again. And I think we can delete this here as well. Because I think mostly this grid is going to be, once we get all this pollution out of the ground, I think mostly this grid here, you can see all the pollution still there. Most of this grid here is going to be for the industry over there. So let's go ahead and get back to our beautifying and kind of creating a separation between these 2 areas. So we want to go to our trees, and we're just going to go to a big tree tool here. And I'm going to just fill in this area very haphazardly with multiple trees from the area. And then we'll go through and kind of fine-tune everything. So this is kind of my favorite trees. Nope, this one, right? Yeah, this one's kind of my favorite trees for this area. So we're just going to add a few more personalized and individual. You can see it's still quick. It's still a very fast process. It doesn't take long to make something look natural. Trees don't necessarily grow, you know, all together, so you can kind of do this pretty quick. If you want them all in one row, obviously you can do that and it looks good. But we just want something kind of a buffer between the neighborhood and the industry area, and I think that pretty much does it. We don't need to beautify all that much. We don't need to add rocks or landscape or anything like that. Just a few trees to make it kind of harder to see that there's a giant industry over there. And that does the trick. And I think that looks good. That's exactly what I wanted for that little area. I like the 4-lane road up this way. I think that helps a lot. We may need to delete that intersection there. And minimize some of these intersections, but I think we'll be okay. Let's go ahead and let that play out a little bit longer. I still would like to very much get these last remaining dumps moved by the end of this episode. So we need to do something to kill a little bit of time while it's running at 3 times speed. So we're going to go ahead and build up this neighborhood a little bit more, and we'll be right back after we build our grid. And we have now massively expanded our grid system over here for this neighborhood. We can go ahead and split Belmont Hills up if we want. We don't need to do that right now, but we are about to finally be able to get rid of these eyesore landfills, 4% and 16%. Let's go ahead and take care of some problems that we're having in our city, and the biggest of which are industry, as you can see. And I think that has something to do maybe with getting rid of all of that polluting industry, but that's fine. We're going to open all of this up for another type of industry. This is office space industry, but all of these will be office space buildings, and all of this will add jobs to our city. So we'll zone off all of that for commercial buildings, for office buildings, for office zoning, so that we can get some jobs for our people. And you can see the demand is going down a little bit for our industry now. And we may zone off a little bit more. We may zone off the rest of this block and just have these 2 areas as total blocks. We don't need any population. We are growing at 23 per turn, but we're kind of stagnant without having any jobs. So we also need some commercial, and let's go ahead and add a couple big buildings here. This is all high density commercial, and let's go ahead and do maybe half of it, and we'll do about the same thing over there. And that should answer that demand. So we've got some mixed usage in here, and this, I think this is going to look good. And maybe let's zone off the rest of this as industry. Yeah. Oh, not that. Let's go to our fill tool. We don't want that. And let's just zone that off. There we go. So now we'll have plenty of jobs, plenty of things for these people. And you guys will be very proud of me, this entire area. I already put the water pipes down. Boom. How you like me now? Alright, so that answers our commercial demand has dropped to almost nothing. Industry is dropping quick. Commercial is going up a little bit more, but we'll be alright. So that should take us to maybe our next milestone. Maybe we need a few houses, yeah. But nothing too big, and as you can see, we have plenty more area. Now we may expand this neighborhood up 1 more block, maybe 2 more blocks. But we don't want to get too close to the highway. You can see what I did down here by the roundabout. I curved this street around, and I think that'll work out well. I don't think there will be too much noise pollution. But the biggest thing about adding this highway here, you guys ready for this? Look at the traffic over here. There's nothing. There's like 6 cars waiting. I didn't cover it, but while I was watching the traffic, we had people backed up on the highway. We were despawning Sims. That's how bad the traffic was. So now we should be fine. I am so excited to move these things. Why won't they just drain? So we're going to go ahead and build this road here. Can we build this road here? No, of course not. All right. Can we build this road so that I can just delete this? I'm so sick of looking at this road. I thought for sure by this episode we would be able to get rid of all this. So there we go. We've got rid of that intersection. Now we've just got the one intersection. Anyone coming down off the highway has to go one way or the other. I think we can make this look a little bit better here. Just by, let's see, is that going to be enough? Let's take a look. Is that enough away from the highway? Yeah, I think that works. We're not going to have anything zoned in that area on the outside. We'll go ahead and zone the inside, and I think that works. That's not too close. We could add some trees if we wanted, but I think that's okay. So if you're driving into the city from this area that isn't built yet, and you get off at this exit, you just got a road over there. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright. So yeah, we need to move that water tower. And how is our electric doing? Are we connected here? No, we still are not connected everywhere. Alright, well, we're getting there. We're getting there. And we're still waiting. 1%. I so badly want this to happen. Let's go ahead and move this. Oh, you know what I noticed we need to do? Sorry for moving the camera so quick. We need to level this landscaping over here because we've got a little bit of problem with the hill here. So let's go ahead and do that, and by the time we come back, we will be fine. So we need to level this out, and then we also need to delete these. Well, we didn't need to delete that, but that's fine. We need to delete these roads. And there we go. And then we should be able to... Damn autosave. Then we should be able to move our landfill over into this square, and it should fit in perfectly. And are we there yet? We are still not there. Oh, anticipation. Let's go ahead and move this incineration plant. And we can put this on the back side with the others. Yep, that works for me. And there we go. Finally. Let's go ahead and relocate this. We can move this landfill site now, and we can put it back here nice and snug where it belongs. So we've got 2 landfill sites. Let's go ahead and turn it off from emptying. 2 landfill sites and 2 incinerators, and we'll have 2 landfill sites, 2 incinerators, and then we'll have, what, 4 or 5 incinerators over here. Sorry for moving the camera so quick again. But we are finally there. Finally got rid of that landfill. I'm so happy. We can delete those roads that we just wasted money to build. And now we can get this entire area. Let's just connect this here. I will change that later, obviously. We can let this entire area defunkify from pollution, and then we can move more zoning for our farmland over there. We're going to go ahead and end the episode today. As said, we're not going to reach our next milestone. Our next milestone is 17,000 in population. In the last milestone, we did reach. We bought that new tile, and we brought on a bunch of stuff that we can't use. The only thing was the crematorium. Crematorium is something nice that we got in our last episode, so we don't need that necessarily anytime soon because we added these graveyards, but the crematorium burns dead people, so just like in real life. Why is the electric not connected? Are we just catching up here? I think we're just catching up. Let's check our electric. Yeah. Nope, consumption's more. Alright, let's bump up the budget. Let's go ahead. Oh, hey, we're not even at 95. There we go. So that 100%, that should take us out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and end the episode here today. I think we've made a lot of progress, and I think we've done it in a concise episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.